and a warm welcome to our maiden edition of Tax File. I am your host, Laure Bala Hassan. Today's show is packed with valuable information. We start with the latest news, followed by Vox Pop segment, where we hit the streets to get your opinions. Next, we move to Did You Know segment, then to What's on the Net, where we attempt to answer some of the questions you have dropped on our social media handles. And finally, we wrap up with professional insights. Let's get started. And now the news. Your tireless efforts played a pivotal role in surpassing our revenue targets. And together, we have made significant strides towards strengthening Nigeria's fiscal future. FIRS Chairman Zak Adedeji disclosed this in his New Year message to FIRS staff. Joyce Teku reports.
The chairman added that achievements celebrated last year were not without challenges, but thanked staff for their resilience and collective efforts. He added that we were able to rise above challenges and reach new heights. He said, as we move forward, the year 2025 brings with it even greater opportunities and responsibilities. Our new target of 36.35 trillion is ambitious, but I have no doubt that with your continued professionalism, innovation and teamwork, we will meet and exceed this goal. He said this year, we will build on the progress we've made, deepening our focus on improving service delivery, expanding our tax base, and leveraging technology to enhance the efficiency, transparency of our operations. The launch of services like *829# is just one example of the innovation we are introducing to make tax payments simpler and more accessible for all Nigerians. As we push these reforms forward, your role will remain critical in ensuring that these changes are implemented smoothly and effectively. He also encouraged every staff to continue embracing the core values of integrity, excellence, and teamwork, adding that together we will ensure that FIRS continues to be a driving force for national development, contributing significantly to the growth and prosperity of our country.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has exceeded its 2024 revenue target by 81 billion naira, collecting 20.211 trillion in tax revenue by the end of November, surpassing the 19.4 trillion target. This represents a performance of 104% of the set goal, marking a significant achievement for Nigeria's tax administration. Aisha Bilkader reports.
The FIRS 2024 tax collection for the first 11 months was also 80% higher than the total revenue collected in 2023. This impressive growth highlights the agency's continued success in improving tax compliance and expanding the tax base under ongoing reforms. A notable development is the contribution of non-oil taxes, which accounted for 73% of the total tax revenue collected during this period. This represents a 105% increase from 2023, demonstrating a shift away from Nigerians' traditional reliance on oil revenue and a growing diversification of the tax base. The federal government set the 2024 revenue target as part of a strategy to bolster the national budget and increase overall government revenue to 25% of GDP. This goal aligns with efforts to reduce the country's dependency on oil and achieve greater fiscal sustainability. The FIRS success is attributed to administrative reforms, including the digitalization of tax processes, the expansion of withholding taxes, and improved collaboration with other regulatory and tax intermediaries. The agency is expected to continue leveraging these reforms to ensure further growth in tax revenue and meet future fiscal targets.
The federal government of Nigeria has set a bold revenue target of 36.35 trillion for 2025, marking a significant increase from previous year's goals. This target aims to further strengthen the country's fiscal position and drive greater economic stability. Joyce Teku again reports.
The 2025 revenue target reflects the government's continued push for diversification away from oil dependence, with a focus on boosting non-oil tax revenue through enhanced tax compliance and expanded collection mechanisms. The goal is part of broader fiscal strategies to achieve long-term economic sustainability. The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) is expected to play a key role in meeting these targets, leveraging its ongoing reforms such as Tax Pro Max, digitalization of services, and improved tax enforcement. Increased cooperation with other regulators and tax stakeholders will also be critical to expanding the tax base. The government plans to use the projected revenue to fund critical infrastructure projects, social welfare programs, and reduce the country's budget deficit. This aligns with its broader economic goal of increasing government revenue as a percentage of GDP, ultimately boosting national growth and development. With the 2024 target set at 19.4 trillion and the 2025 goals now set at 36.35 trillion, the federal government's ambitious revenue targets highlight its commitment to fiscal reforms and greater financial independence.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has officially launched the star 829# USSD code, aimed at simplifying tax payment and improving accessibility for taxpayers across Nigeria. The new service allows users to conveniently pay taxes, access tax information, and perform other tax-related transactions using their mobile phones without needing internet access. This initiative is part of the FIRS's broader strategy to enhance taxpayer engagement, streamline the tax payment process, and improve overall service delivery by leveraging mobile technology. The FIRS aims to reach a larger segment of the population, especially those in undeserved areas who may not have access to internet or online platforms. Aisha Abdulkadir reports.
Taxpayers can use star 829# to pay various taxes, request tax, clearance certificate, check their tax status, and more, directly from their mobile devices. The move is expected to increase convenience, reduce the time and effort required for tax-related activities, and encourage timely compliance.
The official launch of the 829 USSD code and the unveiling of the FIRS Customer Centricity Guide, these initiatives mark bold steps forward in making tax service more accessible, transparent, and customer-focused for all Nigerians.
The launch of star 829# underscores the FIRS commitment to digitalizing the tax system and improving revenue collection processes. It is part of the agency's efforts to modernize Nigeria's tax administration and enhance revenue generation, contributing to the country's fiscal goals.
Through the combination of the 829 USSD code and the Customer Centricity Guide, we are reinforcing our culture of service excellence and making tax compliance not just a duty, but an experience that fosters trust and voluntary participation.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has recognized 20 outstanding taxpayers for their exceptional compliance with tax regulations during a special ceremony. The event aimed at celebrating those who have demonstrated responsibility in meeting their tax obligations. Underscores the FIRS's commitment to encouraging and rewarding tax compliance as a key pillar of national development. Aisha Abdulkadir again reports.
The Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS) has recognized 20 outstanding taxpayers for their exceptional compliance with tax regulations during a special ceremony. The event aimed at celebrating those who have demonstrated responsibility in meeting their tax obligations, underscores the FIRS commitment to encouraging and rewarding tax compliance as a key pillar of national development. The 20 honorees, who include both corporate entities and individual taxpayers, were selected based on their consistent adherence to tax laws, timely payment, and the support of FIRS initiatives to expand the tax base. This recognition serves as an incentive for other taxpayers to embrace their civic duty and contribute to Nigeria's economic growth. FIRS Executive Chairman Zach Adediji commended the awardees for setting an example for others to follow. Tax compliance is vital for the development of our nation, Adediji said. These 20 taxpayers have shown that it is not only a legal obligation but also a moral duty to contribute to the building of a prosperous and sustainable future for Nigeria.
Did you know the tax reforms will benefit you in many ways? Here is how. 1. Complete exemption of low-income earners up to 1 million naira per annum, about 83,000 naira per month, from payee, pay as you earn. 2. Reduced payee tax for those earning a monthly salary of 1.7 million naira or less. 3. 0% VAT on goods, healthcare, education, electricity generation and transmission. 4. VAT exemption on transportation, renewable energy, CNG, baby products, sanitary towel, rent, and fuel products.
Okay, yes, I've heard about the bill that is in the National Assembly for deliberation on it. I think what I understand by the new tax reform bill is every state now can think outside the box and work on their own tax reform and this tax reform bill gives room for states. As you are consuming goods in states, the tax that is supposed to go, instead of it to be going to central, it should be going to states. I think the bill will weather the net of collection of tax so that the citizens will be paying their taxes and the government can have money to do capital projects.
I think this new tax reform bill is the bill that was come up by the committee that was set up by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I think it was presented to the House of Assembly, which mostly it covers to reform some of the existing tax law, like the harmonization of some of the tax law, and also making a one parastatal to actually be the sole collector of revenue in Nigeria, while other revenue generating agencies will actually drop that tax of generating revenue, and the new maybe the FIRS, which will be the new agency that will be collecting all of the revenue within the country. And also it talks about some personal income tax, and also the one that steer more conversations around the VAT reform bill also.
Okay, so what I know about the tax reform bill is a policy by the federal government to promote inclusivity to the whole of Nigeria, so that more wealthy individuals can contribute more to the economic system, and to also generate revenue for the country, which will also encourage investment in the country.
Yes, the tax reforms is a consolidation of taxes that will help the government to enhance tax collection for effective national development. As far as effective collection is done, a lot of people who were evading taxes will be held liable to pay their taxes. And when they pay their taxes, these monies will be used for national development.
I've heard about it. I've gotten a facial knowledge of it, but not detailed. But what's happened is that it's a welcome development, and the controversy there is all about the Northern rejecting the bill based on the VAT, based on the value added tax sharing formula.
Yeah, I understand. I heard about it. Then what I understand about tax reform is that the government's not supposed to be tax the small business to allow them grow the only one who want to pay tax at someone who has your income of up to 50 million, then 20 million not supposed to, 20 million not supposed to be paying tax, so that you can allow them grow to make Nigeria grow up. Yes, it can help me grow up because this tax reform will make, because right now I'm not going to be paying tax. It will make me grow, grow on my business.
So there are 4 tax reform bills presently before the National Assembly. And the first one is the Nigerian Tax Bill. This is a bill imposing taxes in Nigeria. The second one is the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill. It's a bill providing for rules governing the administration of taxes across all levels of government in Nigeria. We also have the third one, which is the Nigeria Revenue Service Bill. This is a bill renaming the Federal Inland Revenue Service and creating an establishment act for that purpose, which is now Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Bill. The fourth one is the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. It's a bill seeking to establish a board for the present Joint Tax Board and also create other establishments like the Tax Appeal Tribunal and the Tax Ombudsman. So the principle guiding the tax reform bills are: 1, standardization, simplification, neutrality of tax treatment. We also have harmonization of tax across the different levels of government. We have is taxpayers focused. It is also efficiency. It tends to create efficiency, promote competitiveness in Nigerian business environment, tax certainty, provide tax certainty, and modernization of the tax system. These are some of the principles of the tax reform bills. The objective of the tax reform bills are enhanced tax efficiency, ease of compliance, strengthening institutions, and economic stimulation. The first bill, like I mentioned, is the Nigerian Tax Bill. The Nigerian Tax Bill provides is a law governing the imposition of taxes in Nigeria. Under the present tax laws that we have, it provides the imposition, provides rules governing, and provides even some of the administration. However, the new Nigeria Tax Bill provides a law that governs which is in the position of all taxes in Nigeria, irrespective of what tax type it is. Unlike what we have presently, that every tax type have different laws. So the new tax bill provides for a single law imposing all taxes in Nigeria. The second one is the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill. It's a law governing the administration of taxes in Nigeria across all levels of government, from the federal and to the state. So it provides for the basis and modus operandi for all tax administration, be it FIRS, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, or the state internal revenue services. So it provides the standard rules. So it's a law that provides standardization, also simplification, and harmonize all administrative processes across Nigeria. So that is what the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill does. We have the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act. Under the present law, the Joint Revenue Board is a provision under the Personal Income Tax Act. However, the new bill is to provide an independent bill for this Joint Revenue Board. And also goes ahead to take other provisions from other laws, like the Tax Appeal Tribunal establishment, which is under the present Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act. And now that is enacted under the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act. A new office is also created to assist taxpayers in dispute resolution and when they have issues with the tax authority, which is called the Office of the Tax Ombuds. The Office of Tax Ombuds is also created under the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. So this is a short overview of Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill. We also have the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill. Presently, FIRS is perceived to be an organization or tax administration of the federal government. However, FIRS is the tax administration of the Nigerian Federation. Why? Because FIRS collects revenue on behalf of the Federation and not just for the federal government. So it should be, beyond perception, it should be, we should have a law that also shows that FIRS is a Nigerian organization rather than a federal organization. So the law is just to fulfill the mandate of FIRS as it is. And also, it provides rules. So the new Joint Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act is a law providing for establishment and not administration. So all administrative provisions in the present day Federal Inland Revenue Service Establishment Act are also moved into the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill. So we could have a distinct law that speaks to establishment and not both. So this is the essence of the Nigerian Revenue Service Establishment Bill.
I'm sure we are smarter by listening to that educative segment. Thank you.
Welcome to Words on the Net. I am Amina Adiola Abbas. On X, we have Osas Oko asking, what is wrong with Tax Pro Max validation? After imputing OTP, the page goes blank. Fix it. Oh well, Osas, this issue is likely due to poor network connectivity on the taxpayer's end or temporary server downtime, typically caused by upgrades and maintenance from the ICT units. However, such downtimes are usually brief. On Instagram, at Lilia_Burdens is asking, how do I know my tax number, please? Because I am paying tax as a government worker, but I don't know my tax number. Well, Lilia, as a civil servant, your tax identification number, TIN, is managed by the Joint Tax Board, JTB. You can retrieve it at a JTB office through your organization's accounts department or the Office of the Accountant General. If you don't have a TIN, apply online via the JTB website, and your TIN certificate should be emailed to you instantly. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, issues TINs only for corporate entities, while individuals should visit the State Tax Office or JTB for tax-related matters.
And that's our package on today's episode. Remember to follow us on our social media handles. Join us same time, same station for another interesting package. FIRS, Simplifying Tax, Maximizing Revenue.